Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to How Do They Do That Live October edition. The topic this month is Internet Safety Awareness Month, and just a quick reminder of what How They Do That is. How Do They Do That is not myself or the other trainer, Angela, teaching you how to do something. The spirit of How They Do That is we're taking great teaching that's happening in the classroom that happens to use technology and really uplifting that voice and those teachers so that anyone all across the district is able to see that. So, and every month we do these, and every month we have a different topic. This month is Internet Safety Month, and so as you know, in honor of that, we are talking about internet safety today, and we have three great presenters lined up for you. The first presenter is really going to go over the entire TK6 curriculum, and it's going to be Joseph Mesa, our digital curriculum coordinator. And then we're going to hear from a computer literacy teacher, Linda Farnon. And then we're going to get an example of the 912 perspective by Jamie Fredrickson as well. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear from these presenters, and I'm excited that you're all here for How Do They Do That today. So with that being said, we will go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next presenter now, Linda Farnon. So Linda, go ahead and have you, you got your camera on, so we'll have you go ahead and take it away.
Okay, great. Next slide, please. So I am the computer literacy teacher at Burbank Elementary, and I have 2 slides, and then I'll move on to my Schoology course. So as Joseph was mentioning, traditionally I had several slide decks or Nearpods for each topic or grade level, and you can see in the picture here, like for 4th grade, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are like 6 different slide decks or Nearpods that you could use, all great resources. So I'm going to share with you what I decided to do this year with my digital citizenship curriculum, which was to create a handbook. And the handbooks were an idea to have one place to teach from and gather all the digital citizenship materials I was collecting, such as the lessons that you see here, games that I found different places, pretty much from Common Sense Media as well, and exit tickets. Next slide. So here's just an overview of the digital handbooks that I created. They're from the slidesmania.com, and you can use these as a Google Slides, which I did, or you can also use this digital handbook from slidesmania.com as a PowerPoint, so it's your preference. So I have 3 digital handbooks with differentiated content. So the first handbook is going to be TK through 2nd. Another handbook is for 3rd, 4th, and the last one is for 5th grade and 6th grade. And so just like Joseph mentioned before, there's 7 topics. Topic 1, 2, 3, and 7 are the 4 topics that Joseph mentioned that were a priority. So when I'm going to teach this month, my first lesson, my live lesson to my students will be number 1, digital citizenship. Number 2, passwords. 3, online safety, and then at the end of my lesson, I moved down to number 7, which is the rules for responsible use. I told my students that maybe in October, November, I could be invited back to their classroom and I could teach another lesson covering media literacy, digital footprint, and cyberbullying. All right, and now I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes. Your screen is there and we can see you. All right,
okay.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, great. So moving on to my Schoology course, you can see that I have embedded the 3 digital handbooks into my Schoology course. Here they are. And there are many reasons why I chose to create the handbooks instead of using several slide decks or Nearpod lessons, and I'll go over that just a little bit. Number 1, I'm teaching virtually, so I thought that this would be an easy way to access the content, such as watching videos. Another reason is that in the future, when I have new students and I want them to learn about digital citizenship and go over the rules for responsible use, I will have this notebook ready to go for them. Especially sometimes I get a new student and they don't know how to create a password. They've never done that before. So I'll show the lessons where right there, they're the steps 1, 2, 3, 4 steps on how to create a password. So that student can go to the handbook and learn how to create a strong password, and it's something that they can access. And also, since the digital notebooks are in my Schoology page, my students can easily access the digital notebooks for reference. Even the students who are here, maybe they're not new students, but they already had the lessons. I was thinking that it would be harder for students to have to go back to a slide deck or a Nearpod lesson to reference information when they need it. So for example, they can always go back or go into the digital notebook and review how to deal with cyberbullying, for example. These purple tabs here. So if I go like to page 3 here. So the student, let's say when I'm teaching cyberbullying, the student might not be experiencing cyberbullying at the time. So maybe this lesson isn't as important, or they're not as focused on learning how to deal with cyberbullying. But maybe in the future it will be, and they'd want to access this information to see, well, what did Mrs. Farnan say again? How am I supposed to deal with cyberbullying? They can go ahead and go back to the information and be right at their fingertips. Another reason for creating a digital handbook and embedding them into the Schoology course would be for family reference. So students could show this digital handbook to family members who don't know how to create, for example, a strong password. I gave this lesson to a 5th grade class, and the teacher was on the lesson with me. And let me go to that. Let me expand this. The teacher was watching the video and when I showed them how to make the strong password, and the 5th grade teacher was like, I learned something today. I was running out of passwords to use for myself, and now after watching the video and listening to your lesson, now I know how to, now I have a whole plethora of passwords to use. So it really made me think that, same thing with family members, if they don't know how to create a strong password, the student who's already learned how to do it, because they could use this as a reference for family members. Go back here. Okay. Within the handbooks are on different pages. I also have all the extension activities. So if I were to go maybe to, oh, this is good. This is a good one here. The 5th, 6th handbook, and enlarge that. I have 2 different extension activities on this particular one. I have the exit tickets. I have the password protect game, and then I have the brand new website that Common Sense, I don't know, it's not actually Common Sense Media, or maybe it is, came out. It's called the Social Media Test Drive, where there's actual modules, and the students are put through real life experiences. And this one in particular is the Social Media Test Drive module on creating passwords, and there's other topics too. So I also created the handbook so that they would have easy access to different links and extensions there. So instead of creating a whole bunch of different links and assignments on my Schoology page, like an exit ticket or a game link for every single topic, the one digital notebook has all the exit tickets, has all the links. This also keeps my Schoology page kind of uncluttered and free from a lot of different links. So that's just good for me, since I teach a lot of different students. And finally, I realized at the very end, after I had done all the work, when I was building my slide decks, I was using 3 different tabs to go from one tab to the other to seeing it. Was I really differentiating content? Was I duplicating information? Was I using the same video over and over again? After I embedded these, I realized how much easier it is to have them embedded. So for example, when I was trying to figure out, let's say, I wanted everything to look uniform. By having them all embedded here, I could easily just go through here. Let me go here. It was just so much easier to edit and make sure that everything looked the same. Because sometimes I would change the font when I'm editing and creating. I would think, well, I don't really like that font, or I don't really like the way that's bulleted. It was just easier for me just to click through here and start seeing, what do I have here? So I could see, this is TK through 2nd. What does the content look like? And is it really differentiating a little bit more in depth of knowledge in this one compared to this one? So it made it so much easier for me once I embedded it this way to see, what are the videos here? Are they progressing in the information that they're sharing? So that's another great reason, if you're going to have different slide decks or PowerPoints for each grade level. Once you embed them like this, it's just so much easier to differentiate content and to just analyze and see what you're doing. I'm going to go on to some of the features. I'll go over what they look like. Okay, let me go to slide 3 here. And full screen here. So this is the first tab, Digital Citizenship. In Digital Citizenship, the topic is more of an overview of lots of different things. So digital citizenship is online safety. It is using strong passwords, knowing about media literacy. So this is kind of like the intro to a whole bunch of different things. And so always on this particular, on page 1, it always starts with an essential question. I have an attention-getting image. I have the learning objectives on this side. At the top here, I have just a quick lesson overview for the teacher and for students and for families. It's just a quick overview. And then usually, this is kind of unique because I wanted to, I really like this video about community. Normally, I have vocabulary words, so it just depends. But normally, this is a page of vocabulary words or words to know. And anything that's written kind of in this font that looks like handwriting, I use this special font and highlighting to kind of note to me that if I was in the classroom or in a setting where we could do some think, pair, share, or some maybe a CFU, that's the reason why I use this particular font. It's kind of to me like stop, ask a question, or stop, ask for some collaboration, some think, pair, share. That's kind of why I use that as for me to be able to know that. Let's see here. Page 2, let me use the second grade version here. Let me go to page 7. So I try to really make the videos also differentiated by grade level. So every page 2 of every topic has the videos at hand. My hope was to build depth of knowledge each year on the topic by starting off with simple videos and moving gradually to videos with more technical information. So here's an example of how I was able to find 4. That's kind of rare in this transitional kindergarten to second grade. Often it's just 1 or 2 videos that I can find. But as I found them, I try to make, let's say, the 3rd grade video a little bit easier to understand than the 4th grade video, and so forth. Let me use the 5th grade handbook for this example, and let me move on to slide number 8. And this is an example of page 3. So I went over page 1, which was the lesson objectives, the vocabulary. Page 2 is going to be the videos. And for me, page 3 is going to be a few things. I have the lesson concepts here. I have an exit ticket if I created one, or if Common Sense Media kind of has like on Common Sense Media, when you're looking at their lessons, it's called lesson quiz. So I just took that lesson quiz and I created it into an exit ticket. And then there's also going to be a link to a game right here also. And on some other grade levels, like in the 2nd grade version, I might have the link to the coloring pages that they have there for digital citizenship. Or I hope maybe even to include a flip grid in the future, just some things I'm thinking about. So that's the basics of page 1, 2, and 3. So once again, the page 1 will have the essential questions, so vocabulary. Page 2 has some videos, and then page 3 has a lesson concept, exit ticket, other extension links, and some more information. And then I'll go over to something new that I created or added this year, what Joseph also talked about, which is the rules for responsible use. I'll go over this. So what I did was similar to what Joseph already had. I created one page here that has I will use digital tools with care. It talks about using your own account, not sharing your username and password, using your device for educational purposes only. And I talk about your laptops not for logging into your Minecraft or your Roblox account. I also talked about not sending or displaying offensive messages or pictures, and also not using offensive emojis to the chat boxes. So that's some rules there. And then on this page, I added using the electronic device with care, such as shutting down the computer every day. And I kind of really expand on why you need to shut down and not just log off. And we talk about updates, and this is, some students still don't know that. And then just some other rules. I say, you know, I will keep the laptop in a safe place. So I tell them, hey, if you have a little brother or sister, the table and the couch is probably not a great place to store and charge your laptop. And I go over some other rules here. This page right here, I just added a quick page just to remind the students how to show virtual meeting etiquette, which is polite behavior for a digital citizen. I have some before class, some things it could do, such as be presentable and dress for success. I mean, they shouldn't be in their pajamas, or I know there's been some cases of, you know, boys not wearing a shirt, picking a place that's quiet and comfortable to log in. So I go over that, and it has some pictures. And then on this side, I go over virtual meeting etiquette during class, some things that the students can do. This is probably a reminder. Most teachers have probably already covered this, but I thought I'd just go ahead and have it in the handbook for years to come. And then over here, something new that I added was I went ahead and added links to the student code of conduct, the board policy, consequences for not following the rules, and some other things in here too, like network etiquette, no expectation of privacy. Students are responsible for their behavior and communications when using MCS technology devices on that page. And then I just kind of end the digital notebook with just some other extra stuff that I found that was really useful that's been created by Modesto City Schools employees. So there's this one, and I added some other videos that might be kind of fun for kids to go back and watch that don't really apply to anything, but are still really good. Some more tips. And then I end with the troubleshooting and the computer license. Let me see which one I'm in right now. And I would say the only thing I forgot to say is when I'm using the vocabulary, I really try to with the second grade and with this level in the third, fourth, is to try to add pictures whenever I could. So just to make sure they had a kind of an idea of what to use. So if you notice, like for fifth and sixth, sixth grade, I might not have pictures of the vocabulary words, but definitely for the lower levels, I did try to include some of that. So I think that's it for me.
Great, thank you, Linda. I'm gonna go ahead and share my desktop with me.